This week on CMA Live, we've got ELETTROMEDIA launching a brand new auto-tune DSP software, MSC with new team players, JVC 2 new units, Boss Elite stepping up with more units than ever before, and ZZ2 entering the source unit game. This is CMA Live, brought to you by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovations. And it starts now. Huge news in the world of DSP tuning in car audio coming to you from the folks at ELETTROMEDIA. It's the BitDrive 2.0 update we've all been waiting for, and standing by to give us all the details is, of course, their international technical marketing manager, Ken Ward. Ken, welcome to CMA Live this week. This is a huge announcement. What can you tell us about BitDrive 2.0?
Hi, Ben. Thanks for having me. We're really excited about getting BitDrive 2.0 out there. I've been testing it in several cars for months, and I've been waiting to get this out into some friends' vehicles right away. So let's get started.
Well, Ken, we're really excited to see what you have to share about this new update. And from what we understand from the press release so far, not only is this a new software update, but it's introducing a new element which you're calling automated DSP tuning by way of Accordo. So let's get into it and show us what this new 2.0 software can do.
So ELETTROMEDIA R&D has introduced a next generation means of tuning a car for the driver. And what it does is it uses the same measurement equipment that our dealers have already been using for our internal RTA measurement, but it uses it in a new and different way. So I think the first thing is, let me show you the slides. I don't have a car here in my living room, so I'm not going to show you an actual tune. We do have an actual tune on our YouTube tutorial on using Accordo, and I urge you to look that up on our Audison official YouTube channel and check it out. But let me just show you the distilled essence, if you will. So before you use Accordo, you set up your microphone just as if you were using our built-in real-time analyzer. It uses the same audio microphone hardware that you've been using already. You also want to make sure that your system is operating properly and do the normal QC that you would do before you tune a system. We have this magic wand icon at the top of our software page, and it's been the way you access our configuration wizard for years. Now we've added a second wizard, the Accordo wizard, and that is what's going to tune the car for us. Here's the first screen you see when you start the Accordo process. And you can see it's telling you to set up your measurement microphone, make sure you select it, verify your speakers are working, know which listening position you're tuning for, and then this bullet here I'd like to draw attention to. It tells you that if you're using an OEM source, make sure that you've corrected it for EQ, polarity, time, and phase before you go any farther. The reason this is really important is because there are a lot of DSP systems out there that don't let you correct OEM signals in all of these metrics and all of these dimensions. So, for example, if you were to take a 2024 Kia Sportage and you were to put most auto tuning systems in that vehicle, they don't have any way to correct the phase manipulation that Kia has performed in the head unit. So we do, and we want to make sure that you use it before you go any farther. Now here's the list of every speaker in the system. And you can see we've got an OK on the right column. If any of those were muted or disabled, it would show and we would be able to fix it before we go to the next step. This is our target curve editor. We've been asked for a target curve editor by dealers for a while. I'm glad that we have one here. It's really useful. And we have a couple of choices. We can create our own target curve using these parametric EQ tools, or we can go to the top and select a target curve from this library of predefined target curves. Now, the HACE target curve is my favorite, so I'm going to select that, and that's what Accordo is going to tune the system for. This screen That 5-second window at the top allows me, if I don't have USB extension cables, to leave the laptop in the vehicle and get out of the vehicle. You shouldn't be in the vehicle when you perform the Accordo process. It's designed to not have a person inside the cabin. You can also set the sub volume, which allows you to have plenty of range for your subwoofer control when you're done with the Accordo process. There's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 screen, and then it's going to make a sweep tone that you've probably heard before, the whoop, whoop sounding tone. And we're going to lift this level indicator until we get a green light. And the green light tells us that it's detecting the sound of the system. So there we go, we've got a green light. Now, it's going to measure each of the speakers individually. And again, we'll want to get out of the vehicle before it does this measurement. So here, it'll play that same whoop sweep tone through each channel in sequence. When it's done doing that, it'll give us a check mark for measurement and it'll go to the processing. And then the processing is complete and we're finished. We can save the file to our laptop, we can finalize the settings to our tuned device, and we can listen to the system. And of course, when you listen to the system, if you want to make any fine adjustments, we have plenty of EQ tools remaining available to you that you can use to make any fine adjustments that you like. So when it's finished, the most important thing is to turn the volume back up because it's going to lower the volume 24 dB. You can also see in this screen that some of the EQ bands at the bottom have disappeared. And that's because Accordo doesn't use normal equalizer bands. Accordo uses a innovative technique that I don't think anybody else in car audio is using, where we take digital filters that are included with a DSP chipset and repurpose them to unique filters that are designed just for the problem we're solving in this car.
Well, first of all, Ken, thank you for showing us the quick wizard setup with Accordo. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask the question that I know our viewers are asking. What would you say is the overall time that would be needed to go through this wizard setup from an auto tune perspective?
So the exact amount of time that Accordo is going to take varies with how many channels your system has. I've tested it in cars with 3 channels, and I've tested it in cars with 14 channels. But I'll tell you that a good average time is about 90 seconds.
Wait a minute. Did you just say 90 seconds? We're talking about a full multi channel DSP tune in 90 seconds? That is absolutely unheard of. And I want to make sure we clarify that.
Well, in the words of the Wayans brothers, I was as surprised as you. It really is amazing what Audison R&D has done. Now, it adjusts the delay, it adjusts the level, it adjusts the phase, and it adjusts the equalization. And it does it in some ways that we can't recreate with parametric equalizers. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's perfect in every car. That's a tough lift. However, I've tested this in a number of different cars. I've tested it in about 7 cars and I've tested it in about 10 different system configurations. And what I have found is there are 4 ways that I think Accordo is going to get used. There are going to be some dealers who push the button and deliver the car. I think that most dealers are going to push the button and then listen to the car and make any tonality adjustments that they like with our global EQ. And that takes about 2 minutes. Now, some dealers are going to play pink noise and measure the system and make adjustments to the overall response using the global EQ, and that's going to take about 5 minutes based on my testing. And then some dealers are going to play the left side, play the right side, make individual adjustments. I've done that myself. That took me 10 minutes end to end. Now, I've had people ask me, what about playing with the delay? And the answer is, you don't need to. You don't need to play with a delay. You don't need to play with a phase. You get a time aligned phase coherent system that is that follows your target curve in a couple of minutes.
Ken, you and I have been talking about DSP for a couple years now. Where was this when it started? Now you're telling me we can do this in less than 5 minutes and do it properly. The fact that there's no time delay, adjustments, and any of that. I mean, really, I would agree with you. I think your option two is probably going to be the most popular choice, whereby you do the tuning and you listen. I mean, that is something you should do and add that salt and pepper with the EQ. Okay, before we run out of time, I wanted to pay attention to a couple of the cool features this new update has to offer, especially when it comes to up mixing, for example.
Yes, we're really excited to have a basic upmixer in 2.0. We don't have one of the patented upmixers that has a flashy name, but we do have the ability to generate 5 upmix channels from 2 stereo channels. And I wrote the application notes for using the upmixer, and we're able to use it in a system from a 3.1 all the way up to a 7.1 system, because when you use the upmixer, you're able to combine it with the existing channels you already have. So you can create systems with or without center channels and just use the surround channels for ambiance, or you can create a system that just uses a center channel and doesn't have any ambiance channels. But a full 7.1 system is going to have center, left and right stereo, left and right rear stereo, and ambiance channels plus your subwoofer.
And there you have it, guys. The all new release coming to you from Audison, the BitDrive 2.0 updated software, now featuring a Cordo automated DSP tuning in incredible record time. This is a game changer. Before I let you go, Ken, I have to ask, with this new platform that's being released, can we expect this to be kind of like the go to platform for all things electromedia moving forward?
Well, that is an excellent question. We have said for years, since BitDrive's introduction about 2 years ago, that our internally developed DSPs would all use the BitDrive platform. Those of you with keen eyes may notice that the BitDrive software doesn't identify itself as Audison until you connect an Audison amplifier to it. I'll just let you figure out what that might mean in the future, but I think this is the platform you're going to want to get to know.
Well, I hope you're paying attention, guys. I think Ken Ward just kind of spilled a little bit of beans. If you read between the lines, Ken, where do people need to go to get more info, or more importantly, try out this new cool software?
So we have the software on Audison.com in our downloads page. We have pages of information and FAQs on the Audison.com page. And finally, we do actually have a video for those of you that just won't read our manuals no matter what we do. We've got a 12-minute tutorial video on our YouTube channel, Audison Official.
Hi, Jody from 5 Axis here. Just want to bring everybody up to speed with what we do and how we do it. We're a display company. We do a lot of custom graphics. Obviously, we do custom audio boards. We do RGB lighting. We do graphical work up top. We also do all the different custom amp mounts. So for all your store needs, we do front counters, we do home audio sections, we do lighting, everything that you're looking for, give us a call. Again, it's 5 Axis, 414-326-7162.
Well, it looks like the folks at MSC are at it again, introducing some new team members along with some cool plans for the 2024 season. We go now and connect with both Larry Penn as well as Chris Van Rye out of their Calgary office. Larry, Chris, welcome once again to the show. Man, there's a lot of news happening over at the MSC camp. What can you tell us?
Hi, Ben. We're super happy to come on the show and let you know our plans going into 2024 and beyond. We have some new team members that we're going to be introducing to you today. We have some new marketing initiatives that we're going to be introducing to you today and really lay out the plans for us to be solid and strong going into 2024. We also are going to show you some new images from our new facility in Mesa, Arizona, and announce that later on this year in the Calgary head office, we'll be going through some renovations, improving our training facility and our production for Systems by MSC. So we got a lot going on, and we want to assure our dealers and our end users that we're here to support you and take care of you well into the future.
Wow, Larry, certainly lots to cover on today's live segment. I guess let's start with some fun news. I mean, we're going to bring him on. I think you guys will recognize him. He's been on CMA once or twice and is a familiar face within the industry. Of course, we're talking about Jeff Smith, who is now the new Director of Specialty Dealer Support at MSC. Jeff, how are you doing, man?
Ben, I'm doing great. Glad to be back on CMA again.
You know, Jeff, we're super happy to have you on. And obviously, you're now part of the MSC camp. So, obviously, inquiring minds want to know, can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of what your role will be moving forward as part of the MSC team?
Ben, coming over to MSC is going to be a big increase in my ability and being able to take my talents and help spread support for all of our dealer partners all across the country. Being at MSC is allowing me to help our dealers learn more about the high-end products from the MSC family. Also being able to take my ability to teach people and also the skill set that I have and help increase our dealer partnership with all of our customers across the country.
So, Jeff, one thing that I definitely want to share with our audience is, I mean, you have been a really big geek when it comes to high-end audio for some time. We've seen you in different roles, talk technical, but I am very excited to see you really get into the deeper topics, such as the DSP and the tuning and those aspects that MSC has really become known for. What are you most excited about moving forward when being able to play with this type of equipment and interact with this level of dealer?
Yeah, Ben, you're exactly right. It's always been a talent of mine and a secret passion to be a part of something so unique and exciting as the family of MSC products. I've been a supporter for many years behind the scenes, and I've always been able to take these talents and be able to help instruct dealers and teach them the ways and the special techniques that I've acquired myself in order to help turn their business into a more profitable and more pleasing solution to turn over to their customers. So I'm very excited to be here and ready to flex my talents a little bit further than I have in the past.
All right, that was Jeff Smith, the new member of the MSC team, filling out the role of Director of Specialty Dealer Support. But that's not all, folks. MSC's been busy adding to their roster. Our next guest is the new Director of Specialty Dealer Development. His name is Mike Eckley. Mike, welcome to the show. And you know what? What can you tell us? I mean, it seems like you've been at MSC for just a couple of months now, but why don't you give the audience an idea of exactly what your role is and how you are a team member of MSC?
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. Being the director of specialty dealer development here at MSC, my role is kind of spread across the U.S. as a little bit of everything from technical support, general technical support, to complete business analysis with the accounts and getting everything they need to be successful and profitable. Giving them educational aspects of it, again, working with the entire team to just kind of build the relationship moving forward.
Well, Mike, it sounds like this is an important initiative and definitely a very important role within the infrastructure of MSC. But for those tuning in who may not know you, why don't you give us a brief history of what you have in the industry, what you've accomplished, and how you feel your experience is going to lend to the success in your new role?
So, Ben, I've been in the industry for 30 plus years, holding multiple different jobs, from installation technician through my years of working with different manufacturing levels, doing training support, doing sales, was a RTTI fabrication trainer for Rockford for quite some time, and then rolling over into sales probably about 15 years ago through some of the Rockford initiatives, through Sony. Worked for Dow Electronics, helped them develop the entire Dow platform of 12 volt that was there from the beginning to where it is currently, and then went to work with the guys at AMP to create the Phantom program, which was the on-the-ground team that supported all the dealer networks, and then taking all those strengths that I've learned over the years and bringing that to MSC and really kind of taking what MSC's initiative is to be dealer supportive 100%, with minimal use to utilizing the internet to drive sales in the sense of consumer direct. This is all pushing the initiative back through the dealer, working with the dealer, educating the dealer, creating profitability for the dealer. So it's extremely important for what we're doing here at MSC to the longevity of the success rate of dealers that are in the field.
Well, on that note, Mike, you mentioned two key words, one being initiative and the other is dealer support. And on that note, I understand there are some new display board concepts that MSC is rolling out for their dealers. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, it's great. Our new display programs are creating a lot of wow factor for dealers. We've got uh, two different platforms right now. We have a horizontal type display that can be configured depending on the dealer and the support level of what they're doing. It could be done with Brax, it could be done with Helix, it could be done with the Compose speakers. It could also be done with Blam products. So again, we can tailor it according to what the dealer's requests are. The newest to the display program is the MSC Tiny Desk. And this is a studio style desk that allows the dealer to put a customer down in front of three speakers and articulate kind of what happens in a car, but more so with a large format screen that's above the tiny desk, promoting or I should say displaying a concert so they can visually see how the instrumentation arrays across the stage, where the vocal track is, things of that nature, and then start working the tiny desk to show the speaker representation, the left, center, right, and how all of that works together, and really kind of educate the consumer on the importance of a DSP in the car for today's car audio problems that may arise.
So we've had a chance to meet both the Jeff Smith and Mike Eckley, the new members of the MSC team. Now we're going to go back to our old favorite. Yes, the DSP cowboy himself, Chris Van Rye. Now, Chris, we've talked about some new displays. We've talked about new members. Larry's talked about a couple other things, but what about training? Because that obviously is one of the biggest things when it comes to MSC and your success. What do you have for us as far as updates in your training programs?
Absolutely, Ben. You know, we don't sit still very long around here at MSC, and 2024 is no different. We actually just finished building a completely new facility. We've moved basically a block over from where we were before for any of our partners who have been to that facility, but we've moved to a new spot with a different footprint, with a ground up rebuild. It allowed us to really tailor all the things that we've done and learned over the last handful of years and build this facility around exactly what we need and where we see the direction of our little corner of the industry moving over the next handful of years as well. So some big changes on that front. And of course, a new facility, we've got a handful of new training programs to go along with it.
Well, congratulations is in order. Brand new facility. Very, very nice, very sharp, and honestly, can't wait to see it myself. Now, what about training programs, Chris? Can you give us some details on what dealers can expect?
Absolutely, Ben. We've actually got 4 different programs that we're going to be running through the rest of this year and hopefully into the early chunk of 2025 as well. Up to this point, we've already launched our flex mount training. What we're actually doing is bringing dealers in and giving them the basics they need to start 3D printing, both design, printing processes, understanding materials and techniques to build flex mounts right there in their store. Through Audio Tech Fisher, of course, we've got a range of flex mounts pre-made, available, and ready to go for these dealers. But of course, you can't cover off every single car and every application. So we wanted to give them not only the knowledge, but also the tools to really embrace that, run with it, and be able to create what they need on demand and see how that segues into the rest of their businesses as well. From there, we're actually going to be adding into the mix a subwoofer system training. So at Audio Tech Fisher, we've got a whole range of subwoofers already in the lineup, but we've got a very exciting new product coming in the Impact Q series. So alongside that, we wanted to give dealers a much better understanding of what comes to really getting the best bass possible out of their audio systems, enclosure design, how they interact with the vehicles, and how to use the new modular subwoofer design. We'll talk about that in another episode, but some really cool stuff that we can deal with on that side of things. Above and beyond that, we're going to continue to run our tuning process trainings, fit it, tune it, turn it, how to efficiently, effectively, and repeatably build cars that sounded demonstrably better than they did from the factory. Of course, that gives us the platform to continue to develop new training programs in the future, something that we can look forward to in 2025. But then we've even got one more program. Here at MSC, we've been representing the Escort radar category. Escort Radar has allowed us to, we're partnered with us for all of North America for all of their products. From this point forward, we've been representing it here in Canada for almost a decade now already, so something we're intimately familiar with. And we wanted to share our successes in the store and how we've gotten there with our dealer partners. So we're actually going to have an entire dedicated program to understanding how the technologies work, how the vehicle integration works, and then also taking some of that 3D printing technology and knowledge that they've learned in the Flex Mount program and using that to adapt those new technologies into outfitting those systems into ways that fit cars better and perform better than ever before.
As expected, Chris, so much stuff going on at MSC. And if you're a dealer, man, you got to give it to them. They keep you busy. Now, final thoughts, Larry. I mean, obviously, we've got some new team members. We've got some new programs. We're rolling out new product displays. What final message do you have for our audience?
Hi, Ben. I'm super excited for our team and our whole company this year. We've really got it locked down. One of the other new team members that's been with us a little longer, I'd like to single out Nick Edmonds. He is in charge of technical support and in running our 3D printing training. He's done an amazing job for us. Those of you who met him know his dedication to the industry. So Nick, Chris, Mike, Jeff, the whole team. And for a lot of you guys don't know, in the Calgary office, we've got 11 people here to back up support and get things out and shipped to you. So we've got the team. We're super excited to be involved in your business and want to strengthen our relationship with you this year. That's where we're headed with our Focus 50 program. That is our absolute top level dealer support program that we're launching through August and September here. So we will be in touch with our current dealer base on that. And if you're interested in talking to us and learning more about our products, please feel free to give us a call, either the US number, or Canadian number, and visit our website at mseamerica.com.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
Here at CMA Live, we love when we get the scoop on new products. And today it's all about Boss Elite radios. Yes, brand new source units coming to you from the guys at Boss Audio. Got a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right in. Our first guest is, of course, Colin Ross, who's the Associate Brand Manager for Boss. Now, Colin, you've been on here before, but this time you are coming guns a-blazing. Some brand new source units to talk about. Tell us more.
Yeah, Ben, we've been really busy behind the scenes working on the new Elite line, starting with the new head units. We really wanted to have a bigger distance between regular Boss and Boss Elite, giving dealers a lot more to offer their customers in more of a value price point. If you remember, these were the floating head units we had before. So we had flat buttons, and we had the volume knob, which everybody loves. And we did add the USB-C to the side. Now, on the new head units, as you can see, we've got hard tactile buttons. We've increased the volume knob. Again, everybody really loves the volume knob. If you don't have a volume knob, you know what you're missing. We added the USB-C on the side here, but yeah, as you can see, it illuminates, as well as down-firing illumination here from the screen itself. You can custom color those to whatever flavor you like. We also, we've got the 4-volt front, rear, and sub Creana outputs. And as always, single DIN installation and adjustable screen here, up and down, back and forth. It's a great unit.
Colin, I have to commend you and your team for the subtle improvements, but make major impact. I love the new tactile buttons. I think the illumination idea is very unique in this category, so good on you guys for that. Now, I have to ask, We are talking about this significant step change for quite a few models. So why don't you break down for us exactly how many new units and sizes we're talking about?
Sure, I would say that we have one of the biggest, widest range of sizes you could choose from, starting with a 7-inch double din, and then we get into the floating units that are 9, 10.1, 12, and the big guy, 14-inch. All of those sizes we have available ready with wired or wireless CarPlay. We also are offering 3 units that are not wireless. This is 7-inch double din, 9 and 10-inch floating. As always, they're all certified CarPlay and Android. I'll say it again. These are certified CarPlay and Android. So we work directly with Apple and Android to make sure that these units are up to their standards, and they give us the green light to go ahead and sell or not. And luckily, everything that they've seen is on the market now.
And that there is a critical point just expressed by Colin there. Certified CarPlay and Android Auto, so you know your interface is going to be top notch from an experiential standpoint. Don't worry, we've got a little surprise for you at the end of this to show you guys exactly what that looks like. But one more thing I want to mention here. I know for a while you guys have been working, trying hard to get that Sirius XM integration to work. Where are we at with that?
Yeah, we're excited to announce that all of our new Elite head units are going to be Sirius ready. So all you need is to connect the tuner, subscribe or use your account, and you're ready to go.
All right, we go now to a new member of the Boss Audio team that we're welcoming. He's not a stranger to the industry, of course, a veteran, in fact, Mr. Jason Digos, who's coming in. He is now the senior sales trainer for Boss Audio. Now, Jason, I believe you have one of these new units ready to go to show off some of the advanced capabilities that these new Elite Source units have built in.
Hey, Ben, it's good to see you. It's great to be back on the show. And yeah, we're pretty excited about the new units. Want to just kind of go over some of the really cool things that our guys have been really working hard at. So as you can see, this is the layout of the screen. This is a 14-inch model. So one of the things that's really cool is all of your sources are available here on the home screen. So I've got Sirius XM, I've got Apple CarPlay. You can see the resolution on the screen is really, really good. To go home, I can go here. And then one of the really cool features that's built into all of the new head units is a DSP based tuning function. So, and really it's kind of easy to access. It's not buried into a menu. All you have to do is access the volume control. You hit this EQ button, and at your fingertips now you've got a 13-band EQ. There are also some presets built in, but of course you can customize it to your liking. We've got the balance and fade capability as well. So front, back, left, right. Built-in electronic crossover. So this is really cool, especially in a source unit, because this crossover will not only work on the built-in internal amplifier, but also on the RCA pre-outs. So you can activate high pass or low pass, and then you can combine the two to do band pass as well. And you've got selectable frequency adjustment and also slope up to 18 dB per octave. So without the need of an external DSP, you can actually do some pretty cool tuning configurations here in the head unit. Another really cool thing that's built into all of these head units is a time alignment function. So again, something that we typically see in an external DSP unit, we have built into all of our new source units. So you've got time delay for each channel and even the subwoofer channel. And then you can also assign presets here. So some of the things that are just really cool.
Again, I can't say enough about how much evolution we are witnessing here from your guys' source unit category. That GUI, I think, is really well done, really well laid out. I love the built-in DSP functionality. And I'm going to say something. Is it just me, or does that seem like the processor speed has improved as well?
Thanks, Ben. I'm glad you noticed that. It was really important to us to make sure that the performance of the head unit was on par with everything that's out there. So you can see how quickly I can move through the sources. So Sirius XM right into CarPlay. I'm in CarPlay, and with Google Maps in the satellite view, everything is just so smooth. Everything works very quickly. I go into Spotify. I can go back to the home screen. I can go home. So everything moves very quickly with the new unit. So that was something that was really important. Another thing too I want to point out, I've got 2 camera inputs as well. So I've got a front and a rear camera input down there in the corner that I can activate, even while driving. So if I'm, towing a boat or something, I can activate the camera. So these things are really packed with a lot of great features and a 14-inch screen. Man, this thing is awesome.
That was Jason Digos, the new senior sales trainer for Boss Audio, showing us some of the performance elements of the new Boss Elite source units. I go back now to Colin Ross. Colin, we went through the gambit. Obviously, we're going to find a way to get a deeper dive and really break out all these units, but these are new source units coming to you guys from Boss Elite. When can we expect delivery, and what do dealers need to know to find out more info?
Yeah, Ben, some of the points we want to really relay to our dealers and customers is the features that you're getting for the value of the stereos themselves. You can offer so much to your customer in a value price point. I think it's going to be a hit in your shop. Other things are, I don't think anybody else has a 12 or 14 inch. So if you got the dash space, show them that 14-inch. It's amazing. 3-year warranty on all of our head units, and just like what Jason just went through, that built-in DSP, so you could customize your customer's car, to their exact liking. And as always, certified CarPlay and Android Auto. We're going to be seeing these hitting the shelves probably about mid-July. So, closer to the end of July, you're probably going to be able to get one of these in your car. As always, head over to bossaudio.com for more information and check out our socials for more on the new Boss Elite line.
Announced recently, JVC is also releasing 2 brand new units into the market. This time it's a double DIN size full screen, 2 different models, and we're going to find out the scoop on what are the features of these models and all the details that we need to know. Joining us now is Marcus Vasconcellos, who's the national trainer for JVC. Marcus, welcome to CMA Live. What can you tell us about the 2 new models from JVC?
Hey, Ben, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having us. And we're really excited here at JVC to announce these 2 brand new models. So these are going to be our 2 new entry-level Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible receivers. That's the KWM 595 BT and the KWM 590 BT.
All right, so right off the gate, obviously, this is something customers want, that that CarPlay and that Android Auto functionality. Let's dive a little bit deeper here, Marcus, and uncover some of the features that these 2 new units have.
Well, of course, they're going to come with a full suite of familiar parts and pieces that we know and love in the JVC line, with all our audio adjustments like our 13-band EQ, time alignment, and stuff along that nature. But one of the coolest factors of these new receivers is that they have a chassis that is unique and new to us, and that's going to be able to be a double DIN and single DIN hybrid mounting style. So it's going to be one of the shortest chassis we've ever produced. But you can also disassemble the top half of the chassis and make it fit a single DIN opening, which is going to accommodate a few other cars that are a lot more difficult to install in, and make it fit in vehicles that are a little more difficult with clearance issues.
Well, out of the gate, I think installers are going to find that to be very, very handy. And of course, this is going to affect just the sheer amount of vehicles that these 2 new units are going to be able to fit into. Let's talk about the technology side of things. What can we expect as far as technology and user experience?
Well, Ben, there are 2 brand new receivers that feature wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But there is a slight difference between the 2 receivers. As it is, the KWM 595 BT is going to offer Maestro integration and Sirius XM compatibility for all those customers that love their satellite radio.
Well, Marcus, it's looking pretty interesting so far. Sirius XM, check. Maestro integration, check. Short chassis, single DIN installation. What other feature could you ask for, especially at this price point?
So one of the great features of both these receivers is the brand new 6.8-inch display. Now, as previous models, they had an 800 by 480 display type, and this one features a 1024 by 600 display type, which is a true widescreen format. And it's a higher resolution, so it's going to look great and really stand out in that customer's dashboard.
So there you have it, guys. 2 brand new, very feature-packed units coming to you from JVC. Marcus, I only have 2 questions left. When are these available, and where should people go to get more information?
So these receivers are shipping this month, in the month of July of 2024. And for more information, we're going to put the link down below so you can go check out these brand new receivers for yourself.
CE Outlook is dedicated to keeping the car audio and electronics industry informed on the latest issues, trends, and product releases. New feature stories posted daily. Visit ceoutlook.com for the latest industry news. Our next story is going into the land of motorcycle audio. Well, more specifically, motorcycle integration with brand new features that customers are looking for. Of course, we all know that CarPlay and Android Auto is a must-have feature. Well, we're going to go to the experts on this. ZZ2 is coming to play with a brand new device that they're calling Bike to Play. I wonder what that could be about. Joining us now is Steve Cope, their sales manager. Steve, what can you tell us about this new Bike to Play unit?
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate you having me on. With the surge of bike audio on the market today, we here at ZZ2 thought what better way than develop our Bike to Play, which gives bikes without screens the capability of having a screen.
You know, regardless of the model of motorcycle you're talking about, that, screen option is certainly something that customers are looking for. So I'm excited to see what this is all about. I suppose you do have a unit there. So let's get into it. What does this thing look like? And what can customers expect from a feature set?
I do have a fancy little display here to show everybody our Bike to Play. Here's the screen. I'm going to try to, hopefully there's shadows off the lights, you can see it. But you're talking about a 5.3-inch screen approximately. Has the capability of doing wireless Android Auto, wireless CarPlay. Has also the capability of having 2 DVR cameras connected to it as well, which you can have right here. Capability of putting a 64 gig SD card in so that way you can record your rides if you'd like. Or just like a Blackview or a ThinkWare or any other DVR on the market today, it's going to record any accidents that might happen while you're on your bike as well, or record any wonderful rides you might be having.
See, that right there, Steve, is something I believe that motorcycle enthusiasts have been looking for a long time. There are so many bikes out there that did not come factory with an interactive screen to have these kind of features. So let's clarify a couple things. Number one, that is a touch screen. Number two, obviously weather resistant. And those cameras, does that actually come with the kit? Like what actually comes in the box and how is this supposed to be mounted? What type of mounting options are there?
You're right. It is absolutely. It's a touchscreen application. Works with any riding gloves you might have or with the bare hand. It comes with water resistant and weather resistant connections, as you can see here. As for the cameras, they can be mounted, however you'd like to mount them, with underneath the fender, on the side of your fairing, top of the fairing, however you'd like to mount those on there. And as for the actual screen, it comes in the kit several different mounts to mount to your handlebars, however you might need to have those on there.
So the beautiful thing about this, guys, is if you have motorcycle customers looking for that Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity, you can now connect that. They have all the apps that go with it, and of course, Bluetooth connectivity as well. Now, Steve, when it comes to pricing, what are we talking about for MAP?
So we looked at a lot of different options out there on the market and kind of came up with the best idea that we thought would be an aggressive price for everyone. Our Bike to Play that comes just the Bike to Play without the DVRs is going to be $199, and then the Bike to Play with both DVR cameras is going to be $259. And another great option that I neglected to mention before is that it's an app base to be able to review the things that are recorded on your SD card, as well as you can view them right here on the screen, but you also have that ability to download an app to it, an app based just like any other DVR or most of the DVRs on the market today.
All right, Steve. So just a quick review. This, of course, is the brand new Bike to Play unit coming to you from ZZ2. Compact, yet large enough to have a great interface, touchscreen, weatherproof. Comes with the option for a DVR included package with 2 cameras, which is great. Of course, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. Now, the beautiful thing about this is a universal product that fits on so many different applications. The only question I have left for you, Steve, is when is this available and what do dealers need to do to get more info?
Yeah, Ben, we have them on order coming in right now as we speak. Our first order that we had of 50 each blew out as soon as we sent the press release out. So we have more coming to us. We should have them here in-house in about 2 weeks. So if you want to get an order placed, give us a call here at ZZ2, 929-220-1212, or check us out on the website, zz-2.com.
And that's a wrap on this edition of CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovations. Make sure to check out all our videos at cmanetworks.com. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We'll see you next Saturday.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.